and the website is energycarbon.uk. Now, if you've been interested in lowering the CO2 emissions, lowering your heating bills, and installing a heating product that can protect the environment, save you money, and provide an incredible infrared heat source, this is the man to talk to. Now, Nick appeared last week on the first ever Parkham and Holly Park Association webinar, Why is the UK Parks Industry Booming? And he met some incredible operatives, park operators in the industry, including residential park operator Supremo, Mr. Alfie Best, Mr. Henry Simmons, glamping and camping site owners Dave and Carrie Woodhead at Pinewood Park. And on the webinar, there were a number of key speakers. Actually, Nick's product is so interesting, especially now with climate being on climate change and climate protection being on the tips of everybody's tongues. We formed a relationship with Mr. Nick Gander. He became a member of the association, and now we're going to talk to Nick about low carbon heating systems. So Nick, let's just get straight into this. First of all, sir, welcome to PHHPA Live TV, broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome this morning, sir.
Good morning to you, Bradley. How are you?
Very well, sir. And I'm really pleased that you come on. Let's get straight into this product. This is a 15-minute live interview. If you're watching us, ladies and gentlemen, please do like and share this broadcast. This might be something that can help you as a park operator. It can help you as a park manufacturer to consider installing these incredible systems. So where did it all start, Nick? I know infrared has been around a fairly long while, but I understand this product, or one of your products, was originally designed in Stuttgart in Germany. Is that right?
Yeah, in the Dresden University, and it came from a waste product from one of the big, large German companies that have been in the industry for about 180 years. And they've designed probably, well, it is the first homogenized infrared system. I won't bore you too much, Bradley, but basically it's broken all the rules that infrared heating has had problems with over the last few years.
And infrared heating, I mean, just explain that, because a lot of people don't understand how infrared works. Now, I've had a background in renewable energy. So first of all, when I was told how this works, it really sort of, you can't understand it properly. But please do explain how it works, because it's not a direct heat source. It works in another way. Explain to us, Nick, how the heat source works and how it heats a room.
Yeah, great question, really, Bradley. I mean, it's interesting because as soon as we think new tech, we think not understandable. But come on, guys, we all know what nature is. We all know what it's like to go outside with the sunshine. Sun's shining, we feel beautiful, warm. Sun goes behind a cloud. The warmed earth is still emulating warmth, so we can still walk around in our shorts. This heating system is no different. The only problem is we've got so used to now heating the air and breathing warm, stuffy air and having the dust circulation going round and round that we think that's the norm and the best, and it really isn't. IR will heat all the surfaces in the room and the occupants, and it actually ignores the air. So we're not really interested in just heating the air with this system. It gives fantastic, great savings in that respect.
Yeah, so this system heats the objects in the room. Quite incredible. Now, as I understand it from my experience of infrared many years ago, I used to supply these things called infrared panels, and these infrared panels would do exactly the same thing. They would heat the objects in the room. Now, the heating in general direct heat, gas, electricity, etc., what it does is the heat comes into the room, and that heat then rises to the ceiling. So there's a massive variance in temperature. It's very warm at the roof and the ceiling because heat rises, and there's a lower temperature on the floor, which is why most older people, my feet are always cold. This solves that problem, doesn't it, given an all-round direct heat?
It really does. I mean, that's really why underfloor heating became sort of quite successful, really, because if you've got cold feet, or if you get on your cold leather settee, or you put your arm on the cold kitchen counter, these are all trigger points to make you feel uncomfortable and invariably turn up that thermostat. With IR, you mentioned the panels. It's quite interesting, actually. The biggest thing with all the Leuven report over the last 50 years of testing with IR heating is the fact that you need low surface temperature, low voltage for safety, and you want it so it's got long distance travel, and they're all the parameters that are really quite hard to do. And our system can reach up to 3.5 meters. Now, the interesting thing is we run on infrared and we produce infrared, hence why you get a tinfoil blanket round you rescued on a cold mountain. But the difference is when you produce a heat like infrared from infrared heating, if you get the right light wave, then that's the most acceptable heat to a human being as well.
Okay, fantastic. And Nick, of course, you're a member of the Park Home and Holiday Park Association. You're a supplier member, and your objectives are to break into the holiday space, leisure park space, into the residential park space to bring this product in. Now, I know from your background and what you do in 2019, the UK government had initiated the Future Homes Standard, and their aim was to incorporate energy efficient technology into new build homes. The future proofing will see an average of between sort of 75 to 80% less carbon emissions than a property built into the current Part L standards. Now, we want to be starting to talk to park home manufacturers to see how we can improve the heating efficiency. Is this something that can be installed in park homes, in lodges, in caravans to improve the heating efficiency?
Yeah, most definitely. It was really interesting actually being on your panel discussion the other day. And when I sort of listen to people like Alfie Best, he's really going fantastic strides to make this industry, you know, what it should have been 30, 40, 50 years ago. But obviously it's had its stigmas that Alfie was talking about. So obviously, you know my background. We come from a background of supplying the industry for new build and retrofit in the UK to try and come up with solutions rather than just air source heat pumps, etc., that's going to help us towards our climate goals for 2030. Now, after I listened to your guys and, you know, Joseph Finney and what he was doing with his retrofitting, to my mind, I think to myself, why should these guys be left behind? You've already mentioned infrared panels, probably not something I'd want to live with in a static home. So why should you guys only be looking at the cheaper or being offered the cheaper options? Why not be offered the options at the top end? Let's call it the Formula One end of the marketplace. Why not? People are living in these static homes and they're coming to a wonderful high standard. So why not all have the tricks and all the most modern up-to-date technology as well? And of course, in turn, once they've got all this, this is then going to help them with being green for the future as well.
Absolutely beautiful. So if you're a park home manufacturer listening right now to Nick Gander and myself and Nick Gander's products, obviously visit energycarbon.co.uk and we'll give you Nick's details shortly to make contact. Wouldn't it be great for one of the park home manufacturers to adopt a trial run of this low emission heating system to help us all towards helping all of the UK leisure residential holiday parks becoming more energy efficient, producing less carbon. We're all in it together, and climate change is one of the big things on the tip of the tongues of everybody right now and across the news. Now, Nick, in terms of the products themselves, please let me understand and the viewers understand. Describe the product itself, the product and how the product works, just that people at home can understand, because they're thinking, well, it's a heating system, or it's infrared. I get that it gives an all-round heat source, it's going to save money, reduce carbon, but what is the system? How is it installed and how does it work?
Okay, well, we've got a couple of systems. We've got the Energy Carbon Fleece, which is a low wattage, low voltage. It's 36 volts AC, so extremely safe. Anybody can stick things in it and they're not going to electrocute themselves. Now, that product is specifically designed to actually be adhered to a ceiling, to be surface mounted, ideal for retrofitting, or it's to go into the final skimmed plaster ceiling finish of a ceiling. We're great fans of ceilings because you can cover 50% of a ceiling and give 100% coverage for the occupants. Now, we also do another product that the clever Germans have also just redesigned as well for us, and that's to take in mind that a lot of people don't use wet trades. And of course, static homes primarily don't use wet trades. This is a system that literally just goes onto the structure of the actual static home itself, and then the finish goes over the top. So it's a totally invisible and fully controllable system as well. So we've got both products, and you did touch on it a minute ago that, let's get it into the manufacturers. I do know with the manufacturers, they like to be led by the clients. If the client's asking for something specific, the manufacturer likes to follow. So let's get some shouts going out there from clients looking for this new technology.
Yeah, no, makes sense. I mean, actually, the other day, myself and Kim were on the phone to a very, very large park home manufacturer. In fact, it was the director of bespoke production. I can't mention the company we're talking to, but it's a very, very large park home manufacturer. and we were talking about this bespoke drive for bespoke homes, and where you have an individual that's very keyed in to the environment and to energy saving and low carbon, which there's many more of us now than ever before becoming aware that we must make these changes. And I think it was said the other day on the news, if we don't make changes now with our climate, we're dead in the water. And I think we must raise the awareness for climate change. We must raise the awareness and think about these products, because you know what, Nick, the world is getting to a situation where these weather changes, and we won't go into the politics of that, but these products are needed. Now, installation, this can be fit as a new build fit, but it also can be retrofitted. So if you're a park owner, a park home owner, whether it's a residential park or a holiday park, and you're an owner of your home, and you're looking at your heating system, you're looking at your gas bills, you're looking at your electricity bills, etc., this can be retrofitted into an existing lodge, park home, or residential park home, right?
Yeah, really quite simply as well, with hardly any disruption. We're moving away from having to have water pipes running around for radiators, etc., etc. This is something, like I say, it's 36 volts AC, so it's only a couple of wires to feed each panel. It can be adhered to a finished surface as well. So yeah, it's a nice, fast, easy and clean way of actually bringing your heating, if you like, bang up to date in one of these products, in one of these static homes. And of course, if you've got a static home where you're struggling a little bit with something like condensation, IR heating is an absolute wonderful answer to save those problems and get rid of any condensation or mold as well.
Got that. Fantastic. And obviously what I've done here is I've posted just a couple of links inside the public thread for viewing. We've literally got 2 minutes now before we end the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a snapshot 15-minute live interview with Park Home and Holly Park Association. This is Mr. Nick Gander. His website is energycarbon.co.uk. And to find out more about the energy efficient infrared heating systems that Nick has brought in from the Dresden University, manufactured from Germany, to help your park become in line with our emissions targets of 2030, reduce your park's emissions, carbon emissions, to help your residents to reduce their energy bills, and above all, we're saving the world in the process, or helping the world to heal slightly. To find out more, Nick now is going to give you the details of where you can find him, email addresses, and how you can contact park operators. Do reach out, because ladies and gentlemen, it only takes one individual to stand up and say, I want to help and make a difference. Mr. Nick Gander is doing that right now by sharing his information. I'm also doing that right now by saying that we've created a Park Home and Holly Park Association that's here to help our park operators to grow, to develop their sites, to help improve the quality and the quantity of sites and how they operate across the UK by bringing suppliers together like Mr. Nick Gander. I'm Bradley Chapman, Director General of Park Home and Holly Park Association. I'm one of many team members here at the association, and members indeed of the association. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nick Gander, your details, sir, where people can find you.
Hi, just simply, nice and easy, Nick at energycarbon.co.uk. More than happy to speak to you, and as soon as we can get one of these campsites to look for a 2030 campsite ready would be absolutely fantastic, guys. Here to help.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you very much indeed. So the details are on the screen to reach Mr. Nick Gander. And now, just as always, on Park Home and Holly Park Association Live TV, I'm going to remove myself and Nick from the screen, and we're going to play you out with a brief video. Thanks for watching. Stand by.